All right, so I have this week left, and it's basically just a not exactly 1 week, but it's 1 week and like you can almost argue almost a week and a half left to for me to to make the most of what I need to do. And last week, I try to give it my all and treating every single game or day like it's a game 7 of the NBA Finals. But as you know, from what I've been hearing, and I thought I was only going to get that week, and I was very disappointed at one point. But it turns out the original plan is still going on, right? So so far, the first couple of days have been a disaster because of the fact that, even though I had 2 good shoot-around games on my lunch break, that affected me mentally because of the fact that we had no AC. And, by then, it would have been like 2 weeks. And, I don't know why it took so damn long, but now it's back, and I wasn't able to do what I needed to do. And, right now, like I said, I'm just giving it my all. Hell, the only good thing that happened that past week was me doing my shoot-around game against Russ and beating him in a clean sweep in a 2-for-3 shoot-around activity game. And that, I never thought I would clean sweep Russ in a 1-for-1 in the first activity where I was 11-0 and he missed all his shots for good looks. And meanwhile, I made all of my shots. I was 5 for 5 in my LM3F method, right? And then the horse game where at one point I was about to blow him out, and next thing you know, he came back to tie with 1 more there to go. And with that mid-range shot, he put me under pressure to where if I missed, I would have been 1-1, and all the momentum was going to go to him on the third activity, which didn't happen because I was able to make the mid-range shot as a response to his mid-range shot. And then I responded with, another 3, and eventually I won from there. That's one of my best games. I already have a handful of them this shoot-around season, especially on the road. So this is definitely one of my best wins, considering that Russ is my nemesis, and the fact that I have not beaten him at all in his home court. When he's the primary guy, I think I had about 2 chances last season, and that failed. And so while I do have 15 road games left, Cerritos Park East, my home court, I've yet to play him in another primetime game where I would be the visitor. And from there, I want to win there too, because I haven't won either when I'm the visitor in that court, even though it's my home court. Kind of like the Battle of LA series when the Lakers play on the road in their own home court. When the Clippers then were sharing Staples Center, right? So yeah, man, that as far as last week's concerned, that's pretty much the only good thing I can point out. So as for everything else, like I said, it's whatever. Just a lot of issues. But like yesterday, I was trying to finish up that project for me and Mari's 9-year friendship anniversary. That I didn't have a chance to do on the actual day, which was the 22nd, and I still got to do the shout out, and obviously the game that you know, I may want to just to get it over with for this week. I want to do it on the same time that after right after I do the greeting. So I want to get it over with as much as I could going into this week. So that's one of the things I got to take care of. I was gonna see if I can hang out with the boss. I didn't have a chance to hang out with him last time, but now I think this week I have a better chance. And I haven't told the guys yet, but Neil and the boss, but it sounds like it's gonna happen on a Wednesday. So I gotta let them know later on, sometime this morning, because I told them I was gonna let them know either last night or like this morning. And remember, I'm only gonna keep it to 2 friends at a time at this time when I'm talking about doing groups, because I'm not at the point yet where I'm ready to bring like 3 or 4 or more than that, like I did before, you know, because you know, I don't want to have to go through that burden again, you know, just when you have so many, and then so many things can go on, and I understand that, you know, with big groups, it can be, although it can be a lot more fun and more merry and merrier, you know, for my sake, it's like I gotta, especially since a lot of these guys don't drive, it's you know, I gotta take it slowly. I don't want to have to, you know, go through that grind at this time, especially while I'm still dealing with what I'm dealing with. Okay, I made that clear even to the everyone group chat. So whether it's Neil or a boss, Julio and Robbie, whom I will be seeing next month, and or if it's Russ or Dewey, Russ and Dewey, Julio and Robbie, Neil and the boss, or Carlos and Russ, Neil and Nick, or Anastasia and Cecilia. You know what I'm talking about, right? So yeah, you know, I just got to keep it to that for the meantime. So I don't mean to ramble off here, but my thing is, last week it could have been better, you know, other than the really, really good game that I had against Russ, the shoot-around game where I won my 9th in a row. It still stands as 9 in a row to this day. You know, I still haven't really done very much. You know, the job hunting, very minimal effort. It's just only applied to like 1 or 2 jobs, and I know I could buckle down. And as far as my learning, I know I've been procrastinating. I'll concede to that. But, you know, it's like, I know I got to do all those things. And, you know, I just really hate to even say that I'm going to be doing that because of the fact that I'm really behind on my graphic design career, you know? Or, you know, if I can just for this week try to get even 1 job interview, or better yet, it'll be great if I had 2, right? Hell, if I get more than 2 for this entire week, then hell, who knows if I'm already have a new job, like starting, you know, like at the end of this month. And I'll feel great, man. You know, like I said, I can only control my job situation and not anything else around me. So I hope I can, you know, I gotta buckle down so hard in my job hunting this week. That's another to-do list as for this week, because trust me, you know, this week is gonna go by so fast that before you know it, when the week ends, it's like, man, you know, I can't let myself do any procrastinating, or even just a little bit of procrastinating, because once the week flies by, I'll be sitting there telling myself, oh man, I didn't do much because the week flew by so fast. Well, guess what? well, this week, and even going into this weekend, and possibly on Monday, you know, that's it's I gotta treat it. I gotta treat every single day like it's a game 7 of the NBA Finals. Gotta go all out with my competitiveness, with my 100% ruthless aggression, my dude. You know, I gotta give him my all. And you know, I've just been really tired, like going into last week, like all of last week, you know. Especially those first 2 days, I understand why I was tired, but even then I'm still feeling pretty tired, you know? So, it's like, I mean, yesterday, it's just been pretty bad because, you know, as I was trying to finish up the project for me and Mari's 9-year friendship anniversary, it's like, that cupboard that served as my desk for, you know, for this old drawer that I was using, it broke, and I got to rearrange a lot of my stuff, and it was just a whole lot. And like, on top of the fact that, you know, obviously got to take care of, you know, helping out my family with just some moving stuff, you know, just for them to access, you know, certain containers where they need to find their clothes, you know. It's just too much, and it's just a burden, you know. No, I don't have control over any of that stuff at this point, and so I'm it's just like I said, this week just could have been a lot better if I mean, like last week could have been a lot better if I had given more effort to everything that I needed to do. And you know, right now it just seems like it's that's not the case, you know. So here's the thing. This week I gotta buckle down as hard as I can and start making plans while I still have this 2-week break as I'm going into the last week, plus you know, plus Monday, you know what I'm saying, the next Monday. So, you know, I'm doing very well, also catching up to some basketball shoot around edits, and still in the process as I'm going through you know, another regular season shoot around game for this year, right? So I think I can get through about a few of them for this week. It just all depends, and you know, like, but for the most part, I just got to get out of here, because I don't want to go into this final week, and you know, if I didn't give enough effort to my job hunting, like I did last week, then I'm really gonna feel sick to my stomach, and that, you know, it's very frustrating, and that you know, I didn't do much, and then I'm really gonna start feeling more stuck. So, you know, I gotta do what I gotta do, and you know, for sure this week I am gonna take care of me and Mari's 9-year friendship anniversary. You know, the greeting and the game. I want to get it done this week, and for the most part, like, and as for a boss and Neil, you know, I will see them this week as well. You know, like I said, 2 friends at a time for me at this time. So, you know, and as for job hunting, I really need to buckle down, because I'm now about to sit here with another week being around the same old lifers over and over again, because you know, everything is just predictable for as long as that douchebag company president is still there. And the way that, like, he's been interjecting to a lot of these meetings, man, it's just it's insane. It's just insane. just him having like these long ass meetings for whatever reason. I mean, look, I've seen more than enough. I've seen more than enough of what I've been seeing. I've seen more than enough of this dump. The way that the sales team got treated like 2 years ago, getting criticized, not giving their efforts just because of the fact that inflation was, you know, it was bad that time. And look, I even have to tell Paula and Laura about it, that, you know, they totally were on my side, and I know they know too. It's like, how can anyone just continue to put up with this stuff? You know, it's like everyone's being treated like crap. Ramen's been treated like crap, and she only lasted for like a month. You know, everyone is doing better after they left this dump, and that's why Lisa advised anyone, even me, to seek counseling after I leave this place. But I'm still here. So anyways, I gotta buckle down, man, because I already know what I'm expecting as this week. There's nothing different. It's the same thing over and over again. I'm sorry, man. It's nothing is gonna change in this dump as long as that fool is still running this place. So it is what it is, man. I'm gone. So I gotta buckle down this week if I really want to save my life at this point, since I cannot have another good year at this time. Peace.